Oh no. No. Hi guys, it's Emily and Gabriel. Yay! And I'm gonna be doing a video on when I got my gallbladder removed when I was pregnant with this little guy. Yeah, I was pregnant. Oh, that's disgusting. So when I was 6 weeks pregnant, I got my gallbladder removed. I want to kind of like talk about when I started experiencing gallbladder problems, and I didn't know that's what it was at the time. So when I was around 25 weeks pregnant with Landon, I started getting these mid-abdominal pains, mainly like right here on my right side. You can't see right here, and they would kind of like go all the way through the back, just kind of like a big circle, and they would feel just like a tightening pain. At this time, obviously, this was my first pregnancy. I had no idea what a contraction felt like, so I was like thinking I was in labor, and I was just crying because it was so painful. So we were on our way to the hospital to get it checked out, and it like stopped. So we were like, okay. So then we headed back home, and I didn't experience it again until like maybe a month later. So once I started getting closer to the end of my pregnancy, probably around 30, a little after 30 weeks, I started getting them like at least every week or something. And you know, it was the same excruciating pain that it was when it first started. And a lot of times it would make me throw up. So I had gone to the doctor, like my OB, like more than once actually, to get it checked out, and they hooked me up to a monitor. I talked with a different OB, and everyone thought it was like a pregnancy related thing, like it was maybe just like my stomach was hurting because I was you know, all my center of gravity was moved kind of to the front where my big belly was. So after I had Landon, I never got them again, and so I was like, all right, whatever, you know, it probably was just a pregnancy symptom, it's whatever. And so then I remember maybe like a month prior to me finding out I was pregnant with Gabriel, I experienced it again, and I was like, wait, why am I getting this still? I'm not pregnant. And it was actually probably more like 2 months prior to me finding out I was pregnant with Gabriel. And so then maybe like a week or two after I found out I was pregnant, I got another gallbladder attack, but I didn't know that's what it was at the time. And so it was so bad, like I was throwing up a whole bunch. I couldn't even stand up or sit up straight because it would make me throw up, and it hurt so bad. I was hunched over, and I was up all night with it. And finally, it was time to get up in the morning, and I was obviously still awake in the bathroom, throwing up still and in a lot of pain. And my dad was like, maybe it's just heartburn. Both my parents thought it was heartburn due to my pregnancy, but it did not feel like heartburn at all, and I was trying to tell them that. And so he went and got me some medicine for it. I didn't ever end up taking it because they were just like, well, let's just go to the hospital then. And we were in the triage area, and they were just asking me questions, checking stuff out, my vitals and everything. And so I got to put into another room, and they did some different things. They gave me some medicine, and I threw that up, and I was like still in a lot of pain, like still really throwing up a lot and in a lot of pain. They gave me some morphine, which seemed to help the pain, you know, but I was also 6 weeks pregnant, so it was safe, you know, I guess from what they told me, but it's still very scary to think about at the time. And then they did an ultrasound on my gallbladder because that was obviously something that they thought of. And it's funny because I remember when I started getting them and I was looking on the internet, which of course you're not really supposed to do that. Thing came up about my gallbladder, and I was like, maybe it's my gallbladder. And of course I'm like, well, no, it's the internet. It's probably not. I'm probably fine, you know. And so when they came back, he told me that my gallbladder was inflamed, and it was abnormally long, and I had a lot of gallstones, and there was one that was blocking my duct, one of my ducts, so that's what was causing all the pain not going away. And so they were like, you know, we can either remove it today, or you can just keep coming back every time you get in a gallbladder attack, and we can give you medicine for it, and then we can get it removed at a later time, because it was very risky during pregnancy. So, you know, it was a very hard thing to hear, because they told me that I could potentially lose my baby, but the pain, I told them, was, but I told them the pain was far worse than having a baby. I felt like it was the worst pain I'd have experienced, pretty much, is what I was trying to say. And so they're like, you know, we recommend you get it out, but obviously that is your decision. So it was me and my mom at this point at the hospital, and she had called my dad and told him what was going on, and he came and left real quickly after. But, you know, it was a very hard thing for me, you know, to determine what I should do, because it was very scary to know that a decision that I made could affect the outcome of my baby. And, you know, it was a very emotional time, and, you know, so, you know, I made the determination that I was going to get it removed. And, you know, it was just, I don't want to get into too much detail about it, because it is a very emotional time, you know, and I don't want to kind of relive that moment. But long story short, I was like, I'm going to get it removed. So they got me all ready, and I was supposed to get into surgery, like, not that long after, like, I was, you know, ready. But they ended up having an emergency surgery that they had to do, so I ended up not getting into surgery until way, way, way later. And so, with medicine, they gave me some anesthesia to go to sleep, and they don't really know any effects it has on, like, the baby. But, you know, it was my decision to get removed, so that's why they were like, you know, so my OB came and talked with me, and she felt like it was an okay decision to do it, to follow through with it. So that's partially why I chose to do it as well. I woke up and surgery was done. I had the tubes in my nose, and he had told me that everything went good, and so he told me I had about 40-50 gallstones, and there were still a couple small ones in there. So that's why I stayed the night and wanted to make sure that all of them could pass without any complications or pain or anything. So, yeah, and that went really good. I was in a lot of pain for the first week or two. Ow. And I did have to take a couple pain pills, which also, you know, I don't know, it was just hard to take medicine because of the fact that I already had the anesthesia and the morphine. I had to stay overnight because they wanted to check some of my levels as well, because they were still a little bit high, and they just want to make sure that the gallstones that were left were not going to cause any problems. And yeah, they told me if anything was to happen to the baby, that it would happen in the first 24 hours. So that's another reason why I stayed overnight. And, you know, obviously everything was okay because Gabriel is here with us today. So everything went nice. I have some scars that I'll show y'all from the surgery. So this right here, that right there, and that right there. And then I have one in there, but you can't really see it because of the way my belly button is now. The rest are just stretch marks, but those three right there are from the surgery. And but yeah, I mean, it doesn't affect me at all. I feel great. I can do the same things. It's a pretty common thing to happen to women, especially who are pregnant. So yeah, that is just my story on when I got it removed. It was also my first surgery I have ever had. So that was a bit nerve-wracking, but again, everything went well, and I'm really healthy and happy. So thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not. Follow me on my social media, that'll be down below. And I hope you guys have a great day.